Hello everyone, my name is Andy Mello. I'm a proud owner of a 2014 Yamaha Viking SE, and just like a lot of you Viking and Wolverine guys and ladies out there, and X2 and X4 owners, I love my machine. However, I have always struggled with the parking brake. Don't work, constantly adjusting, just not happy with it. Don't do what you want it to do. I have finally got tired of it. I was recently in a situation with my wife and my child climbing a hill. I hit a big tree root with a tire, broke an axle, didn't know that I did at the time. Was struggling trying to maintain some momentum. Ended up breaking both axles. And with that parking brake holding the drive shaft and the differential, does no good when both axles are broke. Tires will still roll. Scared me just a little bit, so I decided I've had enough of this. This is silly, it don't work. So I come up with a kit that resolves the problem for all of you. It locks down all four wheels hydraulically with the simple press of an LED lit switch. And now we will go to the components of the kit. Now for the kit components, you will have the heart of the system, which is your actuator here. You will have a bracket that bolts onto your brake pedal. The actuator will be pre-installed to that bracket. Here's your wires, which will go through the firewall and the rubber grommet around the brake pedal assembly. You will have a harness, which is plug and play. These connectors here on you Viking and original Wolverine guys, your 12-volt plug on the passenger side. You will disconnect your connector and connect this in line. Your X2, X4 guys, there are accessory connectors identical to this above the steering column underneath the dash, which you will access. You will have your connector right here, which plugs into your switch. Supplied a waterproof switch, which is LED lit. And then you will have your pigtails on the end, which will hook to your actuator wiring. There will also be a body nut and a 1/4 bolt, which requires a 7/16 socket or wrench. And it will slide onto the brake pedal assembly, and it will bolt the bracket to the brake pedal. And you also have some zip ties for securement. Now we will go out and cover the installation on the Yamaha Viking. Okay, now we are outside on a 2015 Yamaha Viking. To make the installation a little easier to show you what to do on the actuator, I have a brake pedal assembly here that's off the bike. You'll take your body nut that comes in the kit. There is a hole that's up on the bracket right above the brake pedal. You'll slide the body nut on. Lines up with the hole that's already put there from Yamaha. You'll take your actuator. You'll slide it up on the brake pedal. You'll install your 1/4 bolt. And you just take your socket, you tighten your bolt down. That will be the finished installation on the actuator, and the wires will run through here. The rubber boot in behind, I'll show you underneath the dash. It'll run through, out through the firewall. On this particular bike, I already drilled the hole. It is a 3/4 hole. I chose to use a hole saw. You can use a Dremel tool or whatever you have at your disposal. And as far as running the wires through the rubber boot behind the firewall, you can see here's the actuator wires right here. They're running right underneath this rubber and right out on the other side of the firewall. Okay, now from the passenger side of the bike, you will look in through the fender well. There'll be a 2-pin connector here, which feeds your 12-volt socket inside your dash. You will take a pick or screwdriver or like tool, push the tab, and disconnect the connector. It's very common to have mud and dirt and grime in that connector, so you can spray inside that little socket right there with some WD-40 or some brake cleaner to let it release. Then you'll take your harness that comes in the kit. Probably be easier to fish it through from the driver's side. Come around here, and you can go one of two ways. You can go in front of your factory snorkel. Actually, probably 3 ways. You can go over top, or you can run right over top of your shifter cable and secure it up to your frame rail here. On this particular application, I'm going to choose to route it right over top of here to the passenger side. I'll come back. You can see it's here. Here's the connector. You'll plug it in to the factory wiring. You'll hear it click. It's connected. Now we'll go back to the driver's side. On this particular bike, I have already drilled a hole. You can see here on the inside. To speed up the video, pretty decent location, right below your emergency brake from the factory. We'll install the switch. Push it into the hole. For this part, you will need a 7/8 deep well socket to make it real convenient. Kind of hard to see the switch there. I don't know if we can get an angle with the video. Let me get a light. You can see the switch sticking out through the dash there. Just reach in with your hand. Thread on the nut. Can be done by yourself. A little bit easier with an assistant. Once you get it snug, the O-ring on the inside of the switch toward the seats will kind of hold it still. Put your socket on. And tighten up your switch. And you will take your, make sure you come in behind your shifter cable. You'll plug in your switch, make sure you get your prongs lined up. Okay, we have our switch connected. Now, we have 2 more connections to make. Right at our actuator. And then we will go inside and show you how it works. When you turn the key on, you have a lit switch. You will push your brake down, push the switch, actuator locks in, ease up on the brake, and it holds your brake down. And then when you're ready to take back off, you just push your brake down a little bit more, actuator releases itself, and you're free to roll. Installation complete.